Today I'm doing a lovely little holiday book haul. It's all the books that I've picked up on my vacation so far. I say so far because I still have about 5 days left here in Vancouver, so I might pick up some more. I hopefully don't, because clearly this is horrible. I have to bring this back in my luggage. That's not gonna be fun. I actually have even more books with me. I brought about 4 from home. No, way more than 4. I think I brought like 10 books from home, and then I've also been buying books while I'm here. And so far in these 2.5 weeks on vacation, I've read about 15 books, and I actually in one day read 3 books because I don't have school or work. What is my life? It's amazing. Anyway, let's just get right into it. So the first book I got is The Woman in White. This actually really mostly I got from my mom because there was a deal going on that if you bought 3 books, it was $10 instead of each for 6. And in the same deal, I picked up 1984, which I can't believe I've never read. Now that I finally got into the book world and I'm really starting to divulge into literature, I realized that this book is really popular and a lot of people actually read it in high school, which I didn't. So yeah, it's also a short read, so it'll be really, really nice to read. Also, Villette. I just read another book by Charlotte Bronte and I absolutely loved it. Next up, I'm really excited. Another copy of Eclipse by Stephanie Meyer. So of course, this is the 3rd book in the Twilight series, a series which I will forever stan. I don't care if you think it is toxic relationship vibes or anything. I'm obsessed, and that's enough for me, just for me to be obsessed, because Edward Cullen is the love of my life. I got this for $2 at a used bookstore, I think in Jasper, so this is in Alberta. Anyway, I haven't gotten a chance to write that down on the front page here, but what I've started to do is actually write the date I buy my books and where I am when I buy them, like the bookstore, the city or something. Permanent record. I did that. So I wrote Indigo, Vancouver, and then I bought this on the 1st of July. So I got this on Canada Day. Very fun. Also, amazing fun fact, this book is actually signed by the author. It has, I don't know where the slip is. I'm actually currently reading this one, and I took off the slip because I was traveling with it. But I can't believe it. I just found it in Indigo, which is a huge bookstore, but it was the same price and everything, but it was signed by the author, and I really like it. I'm just taking this in. I bought 3 Christina Lauren books on this vacation. That is how much I'm into this author right now. So this one I picked up yesterday. I don't think I've written in it yet. No, I have not written Vancouver Indigo. But this is Beautiful Bastard. This series has been recommended to me very many times. That's wrong. I don't have enough friends who read to recommend this. I've just gotten this recommendation from BookTube based off booktubers whose interests, whose book tastes I like as well. So they say that I will like this if I like the other books they like. Anyway, I'm very excited to read this. I'm a sucker for some smut, so. Next up, we've got to The Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. I'm trying to remember when Monroe's books. Okay, this I actually got in Victoria, and I think I wrote it. And the day, I hope I did. I did, Monroe's Books, Victoria. Okay, so this is a really fun story. We were on the island of Victoria near Vancouver, and there's this one beautiful bookstore. It looks really vintage, I would say, but it's pretty modern-ish on the inside. It's really nice and huge. So I picked up this. I actually also got Sense and Sensibility from that same place. Exactly. I saw this edition and I was like, this is gorgeous. I'm so mad at myself. I bought Jane Eyre, Pride and Prejudice, and Wuthering Heights. No. And Tess of the D'Urberville. I know I'm saying that wrong. I bought those in the ugliest little tiny paperbacks because I didn't know if I would enjoy them, so I didn't want to spend too much money on the books. They were each like $4, but they're really hard to read because they're tiny, and I regret my decisions because I saw an edition like this for Pride and Prejudice, but I stopped myself. I said, I'll get through reading the little ones, and if I love them, of course I'll buy beautiful books like this. But yeah, I'm very excited about this one. Next up, The Cruel Prince. I just finished up A Curse So Dark and Lonely. Yeah, the second one's A Heart So Fierce and Anyway, that book was everything. Oh, I finished it in one night. Wow, that was another day that I read like 2 books. Anyway, I absolutely adored that book so much. I loved the fantasy and a little bit of romance, but it wasn't too intense on the romance. I kind of thought there'd be a love triangle going on, but there wasn't. It was beautiful. And everyone's been talking about The Cruel Prince, and it kind of seems ish along similar lines. I hope it's not the exact same. Obviously, I don't want to read the exact same book. Otherwise, I would just reread that book. Everyone on BookTube is talking about it, so I thought, give it a go. Where did I get this? I got this from Indigo Vancouver on July 1st. I don't know why I'm telling you this. Next up, another Christina Lauren, the second one, and I got Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating on Goodreads. Actually, a lot of people, in every review I've ever seen of a Christina Lauren book, they say, go read this book if you liked their other works. So I thought, I will listen to you strangers on the internet and purchase this book. It seems like a very quick read. I burned through these little romance smut things too quickly for me to admit. We're changing it up a bit. I've got Othello by Shakespeare. I got almost to the end of the book, and then I realized I wasn't truly admiring it, I guess. I wasn't taking it all in because, again, the English barrier, I have to really pay attention, and I wasn't. So I knew the gist of what was going on and knew the characters, but the little hints of tragedy and I guess little humor and whatever, I wasn't quite catching that. So I've decided, I took out my bookmark. I was near the end because I could see, but I took out the bookmark and I want to reread it and fully appreciate it, which is something I frequently do with books, especially if I forget that I started reading them. I'll just go back and start them again to appreciate them more. And this I actually got, where did I get this? I got this at Niagara at an adorable little bookstore that was so cute. The lady working there was just sitting at her desk reading. I didn't even know that was the cash register where you pay, because she had the coolest thing of using credit cards to pay. She would go over them with like a roller or something and imprint the numbers. I don't know, it was very old-fashioned and I loved it. We have Christina Lauren once again, and it is Twice in a Blue Moon. I have already finished this book. I bought it near the beginning of my trip, and I got this in, I want to say Banff, but that's wrong, Canmore in Alberta, near-ish Calgary, at the most adorable bookstore. They actually have a pet cat at that bookstore, and that just sold me 100%. I think I spent 3 days there. Like every day we would get back to the hotel, I'd run to the bookstore because I just wanted to spend time there. So yeah, this book was really cute. Next, from that same bookstore that I got the Twice in a Blue Moon, I got in 5 Years. This was a complete like blind pick. I just went in the store and wanted to buy a book from that store because I loved it so much, and I was looking at the YA. There wasn't anything that really stuck out. I looked at the fiction and I saw this wasn't in new releases, but then I saw that it actually came out pretty recently, and I had mixed emotions. This isn't supposed to be a book review, but I'm just gonna say I had mixed emotions. I gave it a 3 star, I think, maybe 4, I don't know. Anyway, you should read it, it's interesting. We're down to the last 2. Fix Her Up was the most. I read The Hating Game earlier this year. No, late last year. And my oh my, I fucking loved that book by Sally Thorne. Holy grail of book. Like, truly an amazing, amazing book. And since then, I've been on the hunt to find something similar, and there isn't something similar. This was on a few lists of people saying what you should read if you liked The Hating Game. It was good. It wasn't great, and it did not live up to The Hating Game. It's also bad going into a book expecting it to be something else, because no book will ever be the exact same, especially if it's written by a different author. It was cute. I did like it. Again, I read through it really fast because it's smut, and also the font was pretty big, so it was a fun read still, but I think I was just disappointed. I also got this from Vancouver Indigo. Yes. Last book, and incidentally, one of the first books I bought. The first book, along with Othello, but this is Wuthering Heights. My oh my, this book took me forever to finish just because the start was really slow. I was confused. There were characters being thrown at me and people being talked about, but then they were their kids, but they had the same names. I was not in it. And then finally I sat my ass down and just read for like 3 hours, and I only got through like 150 pages, which is really bad for me. I normally read 100 pages every hour or so, probably in less than an hour. I'm not trying to brag, that is the weirdest thing to brag about. Read at the pace that you understand. This book took me forever to finish, but it definitely paid off. I do have to reread it because, again, the beginning was kind of blurry, but holy shit, I get what people think about classics and why they love them. This was just insane. I felt so many things that I didn't know I could feel. Yeah, it was just beautiful. Yeah, that's why I've bought so many classics. So that concludes the book haul. I cannot believe I've bought so many. How many is that? 15 books. And I think I've been here for less than 15 days. Not that it matters. Thank you for watching. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video, I hope you guys are having a safe and happy summer or winter if you're in the land down under. I'm so excited to keep reading and play Animal Crossing. Now I feel like I'm very conflicted. I have so many options. Modern Family, Animal Crossing, Mario Kart. As you can tell, I have recently bought a Nintendo Switch and it is making me go crazy. And reading. What am I to do?